All right, Hunt the Truth, episode 4. This sixth one is blinking, so I guess that means there's 2 more episodes after this. And Jackals.
I remember when I was a little girl, I asked my dad what was the worst smell in the whole galaxy. He told me about a livestock colony he visited as a young man.
Jackal
One of those
nests?
places that grows the kind of meat that they advertise to health nuts as non-synthetic, raised outdoors. The reality was revolting. Cattle, packed in, shoulder to shoulder, all the way to the horizon. They were jammed so tight, feeder bots outfitted with buggy wheels literally drove across their backs.
Ow.
The air was thick with flies and disease, and the stench of cows that got sick and died where they stood, their meat putrefying under the red sun.
Okay. We
He
get the
described
idea.
It all so vividly. Felt like I was there. And when I was growing up, I was so proud that my dad had smelled the worst smell in the galaxy.
No, he didn't.
But of course he hadn't.
No.
Because he hadn't smelled the inside of a Kigyar pirate ship.
Let me go!
Please don't antagonize the bird monster!
They dragged us through the belly of their ship.
I love Mashak.
The walls and floor were covered with years of soot, guano, purple blood, everything caked so thick it took on an almost cave-like texture.
I just want to add that all of the jackal noises are giving me chills. It's like that creepy. Like you play the games, it's like, okay, they're kind of weird and it's kind of scary, but if they were real, that would be fucking terrifying. How did anyone fight them at all? Like, holy hell.
Baby, what are they saying?
They're taking you to the airlock just up ahead.
Are we going to die?
That is a likely scenario. Useful language, isn't it?
The guard turned his back just for a second, and Bostwick was on top of him.
Bostwick's gonna get killed.
Quicker. He cranked his head down, sending Bostwick sprawling across the room. Bostwick looked dazed, but accomplished as she held a fistful of Kigyar feathers in her hand. The creature got down low.
You're still gonna
Right
die,
in
asshole.
Bostwick's face. He looked her dead in the eyes. She wasn't so tough anymore.
No.
She was shaking.
Yeah.
Paralyzed with fear. We all were. I tried to think, but my mind felt like paste. I couldn't string thoughts
He
together.
says he is now opting to send you all out the airlock in pieces. And now he's swearing. And, oh, well, I'm not translating that.
No,
People
of course
describe
not.
your life flashing in front of your eyes before you die. That's not how it is. It's not in your eyes. You don't see it. It's a mass remembering. An explosion across your whole mind, every synapse firing at once. I thought about my first kitten, my last
First kitten.
cigarette, the skin on my grandmother's ear,
Ew.
a phone call I tapped 3 years ago, what I had for dinner last week. Thousands of moments, remarkable and unremarkable, flooding past in an instant. FERO's memories, Maya's memories, they all started to coalesce.
Your grandma's
My
skin.
memories as FERO were violent and passionate. As Maya, my life was quiet, secretive.
Well, that tells you who you really are.
Growing up, I wanted to be a professor. I studied xenopsychology because I wanted to know how other minds worked. Back then, I honestly didn't think about how the military would need people who could analyze alien behavior. But they snatched me up. And during the Covenant War, I worked for Oni, psychologically profiling the enemy.
It went from a theoretical thing
I
to
must
a
have
real,
written hundreds
real
of
quick.
reports on Sangheili honor debts and Kigyar. And then suddenly, it all came rushing into focus. Baby, translate this exactly. I've met many of your species, but even for jackals, you are incompetent fools.
Are you trying to make things worse?
Trust me, just
Actually, no.
You
I'm
see,
not.
the Kigyar are scavengers. Greedy, opportunistic. Tell them they're imbeciles, ignorant nestlings to throw away such valuable prisoners. But the Kigyar
Ah, that's
are
the
also
kicker.
cowards.
Well, I can't say this outcome was anything but predictable.
The leader turned away from Bostwick and ran at me, jaws open, threatening. He stopped inches from my throat. His breath was hot and wet and reeked of death.
That sounds nasty.
It was a dominance ritual.
Yeah, it was.
A social pissing contest. The Kigyar will never pick a fight they don't know they can win. He could
And given that they don't know who they have, they don't know if they can win.
take me physically, but now he was wondering, what did I know that he didn't?
What
Exactly.
do you think your ship mistress will say when she hears you've let such valuable prisoners float off into space?
He just stood there, his
God,
milky
that's
yellow
creepy.
eyes darting back and forth between my own, furious. But now, clearly afraid.
What the hell did he just say?
They are taking us to see the ship, mistress.
The ship was clearly imposing. Once, a top-of-the-line Covenant warship. But the years since the Prophet's downfall hadn't been kind to her. Her scarred hull was a patchwork of other ships, scrapped or captured in battle. I had no idea what was waiting for us. But for
A
the
jackal,
moment,
for
we were
one.
alive. And we were still local. Or at least we seemed to be. I hadn't felt that familiar queasy jolt of entering slip space.
Phoebe, anything useful you can tell me here?
My records indicate this vessel is called the Dedication.
No. Wrong.
Suddenly, we were face to face with the ship mistress.
Dedication. Covenant name. My ship. My name.
Roughly translated, the ship mistress would like to welcome you aboard in perdition.
Turzal
Yeah.
was the biggest Kigyar I'd ever seen. Skin like old leather and naked to the waist. Clearly the
Are we
pirate's life
talking,
was good
like-
to her. She was gnawing on the charred limb of some unidentifiable.
Okay, so we're talking like fat.
Speak. You say value. What value? I take yours now.
I
What?
don't think you want to take that tone with me.
What?
My ship. You. No power. Do nothing.
She says that
Not
if
to
you
her.
wish to live, you must prove your value by providing her with 60,000 credits.
You want credits? We can get you credits. Just
What?
get back to our ship and we...
Okay. So is BB basically doing the equivalent to translating Britishisms into, like, quote, American or American into Britishisms? Like, what the hell is he doing? It's pretty obvious what she's saying.
No waiting. Credits here. 1 hour.
Ah, okay.
Take head.
I mean, he's right.
Hour. Next head. If value, live. If not,
We had an hour to live, and we were going to spend it in an old Covenant prison cell. Like everything else on this ship, it was in bad shape. The only light was a ghostly purple glow from the
I mean-
energy shield locking us in.
I mean, BB could. I mean, he's still BB. You would imagine he's still connected to stuff to actually get them 60,000 credits. But why would you do that? There's no reason to pay them.
Bostwick hadn't spoken a word since the airlock. She looked like I felt. Broken.
She's an idiot.
Scared.
I don't think we're alone in here.
Uh-oh.
15 different cells on the ship, and the Kigyar had stuck us in the same one with the Sangheili.
Oh.
The
Hey,
Sangheili shifted angrily.
I would much rather be stuck in a cell with an elite than, like, a brute or other jackals or any other race. Maybe grunts. Maybe grunts I'd rather be stuck with, but at least elites are intelligent and rational creatures. Like, no.
Tried to stand, but something was wrong.
Broken
I
leg.
looked closer and saw he was hurt. His leg was mangled, mashed and hanging by sinew. There
Ugh.
was a sticky pool of dark purple blood beneath him.
Well,
He
yeah.
wasn't trying to hurt us.
Easy.
He was dying.
Easy. We don't want to fight.
Did the Kigyar do that to you?
Kigyar are weak and stupid. They could not defeat me. This was Livruka.
Baby.
I
Who?
have no translation. It seems to be an ancient word, something not in common usage.
It rose from the ground.
It's a plant, but he's referring to Sangheili stuff, not Covenant stuff, which would probably be why BB doesn't have a translation.
Devastation. Death.
Wait, you said
Fungus?
Anomaly. What was it? What did you see?
He says he was at one of the colonies on a diplomatic mission. He saw the event and was badly injured, but he cannot describe it. He keeps using the ancient word. And now he's just ranting about a demon.
Demon? He's
Ah.
talking about the Master Chief.
You have brought this upon us. Humans. Let a demon desecrate the holy site.
Yeah, a Spartan.
Consequences.
What do you mean desecrate? What did you see?
You demon. He cannot save you. What is coming? There are more. Many more.
Okay, so when they declared Chief dead, they were doing it because he was killing millions of people because of he was activating these Guardians. I kind of assumed they were all dying from just it being revealed, like the big huge crater being made, destroying cities, like in the reveal trailer in 2013. You know, there's the big huge sand dune that might be on the Ark, but it rose and all that. I thought it was just from that, but given what the Sangheili is talking about with destruction, I'm thinking that it might be doing something else.
This is just the beginning.
Beginning of what?
Well, of course it's doing something else. I mean, it has something to do with the domain and waking that back up, but it's doing something as far as killing people.
Hey! Beginning of what?
The Sangheili went still.
He
His
dead.
four-hinged jaw slack and his eyes clouded and unfocused. He was gone.
That's always the way, isn't it? Your main character gets there to a dying Sangheili that's probably been there for weeks, and he just happens to die when you get there? Okay, come on.
What do we do now?
I just stared at Mashak. There was nothing we could do. Maybe there were going to be more anomalies, maybe the Master Chief was involved somehow, but we were about to get our heads sawed off. It was someone else's problem now.
This may be an inopportune time to discuss, but while you may not be able to save yourselves, you could still help save humanity. Maya, if you just give me the chip, I can relay the data to Oni.
Are you kidding me? Why? So that they can cover it up?
Intelligence is a tapestry. This data must be combined with everything else Oni knows to separate truth from fiction.
Oh, please. Oni doesn't care about the
Oh,
truth.
what do you know about anything?
I know what I've seen,
have
and I've
almost
seen a whole lot
infinite
of
intelligence.
No, I know you're just a zombie.
Wow,
I
impressive.
am.
Shut up, both
They're both right, but they're both wrong.
of you. To hell with the truth. We can't do anything. Don't you see that? What does it matter if this is just the beginning or if people are gonna die? We're gonna die here. Today.
No, we're not.
I'd almost forgotten Bostwick was there.
Can't
Yeah, me too.
die here. We need to tell everyone.
Suddenly,
If there
Bostwick
are
was
more
talking to me
could
again,
kill millions.
gaining momentum,
We need to warn
a wild
everyone.
fire behind her eyes I hadn't seen before.
We can't let Oni
Yeah,
or
she's-
anyone else cover this up.
This is probably the first time she's ever even seen the Covenant, other than from a spaceship and seeing their spaceships. Now she knows what the fuck humanity was about, and maybe now she has some perspective, like most of the innies actually need. Because I'm certain most of the innies, all they see is, oh, the Covenant's destroying our home, and the UNSC didn't do anything. Even when, if they did, they get their fucking ass kicked because the Covenant is so much more advanced than we are. So, yeah, Bostwick's just getting exactly what every innie needs.
I get it
Perspective.
now. You should fight for something bigger than yourself.
Yes!
FERO told me that. You told me that.
I couldn't believe it.
Okay, so what the fuck did you get from her anyway? Like, why were you following her in the first place if you didn't know that you needed something to fight for bigger than yourself? You were just fighting for, revenge on your family with some person you didn't know? Like, what? What was your game plan before now?
Bigger than any of
She'd
us.
seen that FERO was a lie.
Power to do something.
Seen that I was an Oni puppet,
To try.
but she didn't care. She still believed
Well,
in
yeah,
the
she's about to
ideal.
die.
Bostwick. Get us out of here. I know you can.
But suddenly, our time was up. He pointed his ragged, bony claw at Bostwick. 2 Kigyar guards grabbed her. I tried to rush them, but they were too strong. And just like that, Bostwick was gone.
Yeah. But that figures. She lives just long enough to put a fire in Pharaoh's ass and then dies. Go figure, right?
I
Jesus.
paced around the cell, trying to think. She was gonna die. They were gonna kill her. I couldn't let that happen.
Yeah, she may or may
I had
not
to
die.
Think of a way out of that cell immediately. There was no escaping a fully functional Covenant brig, but this ship had seen better days. My eyes scanned the cell. The energy shield looked strong and steady, but the walls showed signs of hasty repairs, battle damage papered over with whatever the Kigyar had on hand. I traced my fingers along a crack.
Maya, what are you doing?
Whoa. Is that...
An energy conduit.
Oh, okay, neat. So now we're going to die while being exposed to radiation.
BB, can these conduits carry information?
Theoretically.
Right, so if I plugged you into it...
There are several reasons why that is an atrocious idea. Firstly, the electric shock might kill you. Secondly, the electric shock might kill
me.
Thirdly, UNSC AIs are expressly forbidden from interfacing with Covenant ships. But seeing
Unless
as
you're
how you are
Cortana.
already carrying me over to the conduit and I don't have a way to physically stop you, I'm guessing that it's about to happen anyway. Well, what's a few million volts between friends? Once more, onto the breach.
When that first jolt hit, it felt like somebody punching me in the back of the head. That was the easy part. The second jolt sent me flying. I woke up halfway across the cell with my ears buzzing and my muscles vibrating. But my heart was still beating.
Yeah.
Just because that worked, it's a good idea.
The shield was down, but we couldn't access many other
Any idea when you're about to die that works, that doesn't kill you, is a good idea.
systems. I sent Mashak to hide in the hangar bay while we tried to pinpoint Bostwick's location with the ship's internal
I
scanners.
found a bio reading 2 decks up, but it's faint and getting fainter.
We're not leaving without her.
So she's dying.
Screens torn off bulkheads. The walls would seem to be alive with rot. The Kigyar were known for their powerful senses. That's why the Covenant made them scouts. I had to be silent, but the floor was so cluttered.
And you're
Every
not...
step was perilous.
I need to be quiet while they have footsteps of them, like, stepping on grating and metal. Like, okay, great.
One wrong move,
Great
and
job.
they'd be on top of me. Up ahead, there was an open doorway. I had to get past it, but I could see light and shadows dancing out of it. I carefully crept up to the edge and peered inside. The room was filthy, packed with Kigyar all crouched on the ground in tight circles. They were agitated, heads up, paying full attention. They'd spot me in a second if I tried to sneak by. But then, another Kigyar entered. He was tall and lean and had bright quills. An officer, maybe. He was carrying a heavy vat. He stopped at each circle and ladled out some ungodly stew onto the ground.
He's the chef.
Filled with flesh and eyes. I almost gagged when I saw it. As it slopped in front of each circle, the Kigyar went ballistic, burying their faces in the piles, fighting each other to get their fill.
Would you stick your face in this pile of goop here? No, nah. But then again, I'm a human that wouldn't do that. Fucking jackal, I guess.
I realized they were distracted. And the moment the last circle had been served, I rushed past the open door and started up the maintenance ladder, climbing as quickly and quietly as I could.
Again, with the
scanner
footstep
showed
sound
Bostwick
effects
was
going
directly
off.
above us, but I had no way of knowing if she was alone, or even still alive. When I got to the top, I leaned out of the maintenance shaft, my eyes adjusting to the darkness. And then my heart stopped cold. The room was filled with Covenant soldiers. Was it an ambush?
No.
Then I realized they
We're all dead.
weren't moving. They are
dinner.
To the walls. Severed limbs and body parts of Covenant elites and brutes. A few human Marines, too. They were arranged in gruesome tableaus, like some sort of history of the war told through taxidermy. Then I spotted her, strapped to a table at the end of the hall. A Kig-Yar surgeon preparing his tools above her. He was getting ready to add her to the collection. I needed a weapon. Anything. There was only one thing I could possibly use. It was a brute. Or more specifically, his skull. Bleached white and massive. I quietly lifted it and crept up on him.
Yeah, that's... Okay.
The first strike caught him by surprise, but he was still on his feet. He raised his plasma knife, and I hit him again and again. He finally went down. But I was sure the others on the ship had heard the racket.
Yeah, think? Okay, so... God damn. Jackals are just creepy, gross things, aren't they? What the hell, man?
Ha! Take that, you stupid flea bag!
Bostwick, we gotta get out of here.
Yeah, okay. Let's go.
There was no point in being stealthy now. We ran. Hard. The ship was a maze of burnt-out gear and dead-end corridors, but we finally made it.
Guess what
We could see
BB's
our ship
been
at the
doing
far
this
end.
entire time?
We sprinted, and we were almost to our open cargo door.
Calling for help.
She stepped out of it. Cherzal had caught us. We were surrounded.
No value. Do lie. Trick. Waste time.
I'm guessing she's not telling our men to let us go.
It's hard to precisely translate her instructions, but they do involve clawing your eyes out.
I knew I couldn't get our way out of this, but maybe I didn't have to. It suddenly occurred to me that I could offer her something of real value.
I can prove our value with a question. Why hasn't this ship jumped to slipspace yet? What sort of pirate attacks and then just hangs around risking retaliation?
She says their ship is mighty and powerful. None can stand against them and live.
Well, that's not answering the question.
You're a liar. I've seen the condition of your ship. You're not going to slipspace because you can't. Because your engines don't work and you have no idea how to fix them.
BB does.
Tell me I'm wrong. She had a powerful warship, but she was trapped in a single star system at subliminal speeds. She was a shark, stuck, preying on minnows.
Impressive insight, Maya. For a human. My scans do
Shut up,
indicate
BB.
the slipspace engine is locked down. Probably an old security measure put in place before the Kig-Yar seized the ship.
Wouldn't BB have seen that first? Wasn't he in the ship's systems? Wouldn't he have known this? Couldn't he have told them that? What the fuck, BB? What are you doing?
You fix. Yes. This only value.
We can fix it. But the price is our freedom and our ship.
She hissed and leaned forward. The Kig-Yar stirred, uneasy, spring-loaded to unleash more violence, waiting anxiously for Cherzal's decree. I was anxious too.
Well,
I
yeah.
felt like I just played my last card with her.
It's your life on the
If
line.
she said no, I knew we were going to end up on that wall of horrors, one piece at a time. She leaned in close to me, and I felt her exhale on my face.
Ew.
I didn't breathe, but I didn't flinch either.
You fix. You free.
Alright. Well, that makes things easy. If easy means fixing a Covenant engine, yeah, sure, that's easy. Oh gosh. Okay. So, if the next episode doesn't start off with them with their freedom. I hope there's not an episode of them fixing stuff, because there's only 2 episodes left, presumably, if that's what these boxes at the top mean. We need to get some answers. Of course, the big answers you want probably aren't coming until the game comes out, but that's in 2 weeks. I can't wait. I need the game. But I'm still not watching spoilers. Don't send me any links. Not links. Links or leaks. Don't send me that stuff. So, next week can't come soon enough. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far into the video, please consider giving it a like and a subscribe. That helps a lot. For more Halo 5 lead up, check out the video on the left for my Halo 4 playthrough. And for something different, check out my Witcher 3 playthrough on the right. I'm surprised that grenade showed up on my UI. Oh god, no! 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 How did he hit me from that far away? God damn it. Oh shit, there's another one back there.
Settling in over the mesa.